Florida lawmakers have passed a bill that would shield travel records for top elected officials, including for Governor Ron DeSantis. The bill also would block the release of records pertaining to trips DeSantis already has taken. This comes amid questions about who is paying for the governor's recent national and international trips as he readies a run for the presidency. Meanwhile, what do Florida voters think about Governor DeSantis' fight with Disney? NBC News correspondent Dasha Burns is live in Orlando. Dasha, good morning. What did they tell you?
Hey, Willie, good morning. Well, you see Mickey Mouse over my shoulder here. We're obviously in Orlando outside of Disney World right now. But yesterday we spent the whole day in a county next door, Lake County, Florida, which is a conservative county. It went for DeSantis by about 66% in 22, went to Trump by about 60% in 2020. And it also encompasses part of the Villages, which, of course, is one of the world's largest retirement communities. It famously was very Trumpian in 2016 and 2020. And as we watch folks whiz around on their golf carts trying to make their tee times, we stopped a few people to talk to them about this battle, DeSantis versus Disney. And look, Willie, we found overwhelming support for DeSantis in this fight. The vast majority of people feeling like Disney stepped out of line when they waded into the political fray, that they are getting too, quote unquote, woke was the word used in a lot of our conversations. One woman we spoke to said she had annual passes to Disney World. She did not renew those annual passes because of this political situation. We talked to a father of 2 young kids who says he doesn't take his kids to Disney World and he takes them to other area parks instead, in part because of his what he sees as again, Disney sort of stepping out of line here. There were a couple of dissenters, though, who feel like DeSantis is being petty in this fight. But again, we talked to dozens of people, Willie, and the vast majority were on the governor's side in this battle. Take a listen to some of what we heard.
I'm definitely on DeSantis' side. Go woke, go broke. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous, you know, what they're doing, and they're trying to, you know, infiltrate, you know, the children. I mean, you think about Disney, you think about kids.
I agree with what he's saying. I think he's doing the right thing.
You think he's doing the right thing?
I do. I think it needs to not be political from Disney's perspective. They need to be the happy place for families, period.
I think it shows the pettiness of Ron DeSantis, and I think it also shows hypocrisy, because what he's running on and what he's going around the country and now the world saying is that Florida is free, that he's made us more free. He hasn't made us more free, and I think nothing is more obvious to that than the fact that this is simply because Disney, which has the right of freedom of speech, said that they did not support this so-called Don't Say Gay bill, and they were doing it to support their employees and to support, you know, we have lots of family members and friends that happen to be gay.
Willie, those first 2 voters you heard from are conservative voters who voted for Trump, who support both Trump and DeSantis right now. The last voter you heard from, more independent, not happy with any of her choices at the moment. The other thing that we heard from just about everybody who was in support of DeSantis in this fight is they felt like generally Disney had too much power, that they were getting special treatment as opposed to some of the other businesses in Florida. When I asked, you know, is there some contradiction here in terms of a pro-business governor, a governor that's trying to make Florida a place that is business friendly, you know, targeting a business like this? People said, look, Disney is just different. Disney is a different kind of entity here. And so this fight is a different kind of fight that DeSantis is picking here.
And as you know, that special district that he objects to, that the governor objects to in the case of Disney, also enjoyed by the Villages, where you spoke to some of those voters there. NBC's Dasha Burns in Orlando this morning. Dasha, thanks so much.